I never knew when and how my relationship with my twin sister became ill-fated. It feels like the universe shook and broke it. As children, Jannah and I were inseparable. We shared a special bond that was the envy of others. Like the usual twins, we were dressed in pairs. We have the same colors, clothes, shoes, and even accessories. Sometimes we even speak in unison. Everyone adored us and found us both adorable. There was never a time that we weren't seen doing something separately. We always intertwine our hands whenever we walk, eat in the same pace, walk in the same foot direction, and even blink the same way. We were a mirror of each other. We do look alike. Because of that, people would distinguish which one of us is Jannah and Hannah. But good thing I have a birthmark shaped like a diamond on top of my shoulder, and that made me distinguishable from my sweet twin sister. I could still remember some of our fond memories together. We would spend our weekend money on strawberry ice cream and chocolate chip cookies. We would walk down our street and go to our local store just to buy our favorite foods. Aside from that, we both loved dancing, and we would dance in our backyard to tunes that we made up. Also, we loved playing house, and we would always get in trouble for making blanket forts in our bedroom and soiling the newly washed linens. My early childhood was a memory worth cherishing because I got to spend it with her, my best friend, and my other half. But as we grew older, something changed in Jannah. She began to act out and take her frustration out on me, bullying me at every opportunity. It all started with a simple toy. Our mother bought us two different toys, and she liked mine more. She wanted to take it away from me, but I told her that it was mine. Then she pushed me and shoved me to the ground just to get what she wanted. And that incident became frequent. She would always take everything that I have, and if she didn't get it, she would throw the biggest possible tantrums. But I tried to understand her because, according to my mother, I am more mature than her. As children, the bond between Jannah and me was supposed to be unbreakable, but as we grew older, something changed within her. She started to treat me differently, mocking and taunting me at every opportunity. "Look at you, Hannah, always so clumsy and slow. You'll never be as good as me." She said this to me during our elementary years as we practiced for our dance competition. I tried to hold back tears because some of our classmates were looking at me, judging my every move. "Why are you saying such mean things, Jannah? We're supposed to be sisters," I said in a very soft voice, but she countered it with a loud laugh. "Sisters? Ha! You're nothing compared to me. I don't know why Mom and Dad even bother with you." Her words were like knives, piercing my young heart. I couldn't understand why my twin sister would treat me this way. It hurt so much, but I tried my best to hide the pain. "I'm still your sister, Jannah, and I love you." She rolled her eyes, and some of her close friends laughed mockingly at me. "Love me? You're so pathetic. No wonder everyone prefers me over you. Am I right, girls?" Her friends agreed in unison. I tried my best to hold back my tears, but I failed. It started falling quickly. The bullying continued, and no matter how hard I tried to please her, Jannah seemed to take pleasure in tearing me down. I longed for the days when we were close, when she used to be my protector and confidante, but now she had become my tormentor. Her taunts and hurtful comments would leave me in tears, wondering what I had done to deserve such treatment from my twin sister. At first, I tried to reason with her to understand why she was being so cruel, but all I received was more insults and mockery. As we entered our teenage years, Jannah's animosity towards me intensified. She was always jealous of my friendship and accomplishments, making it her mission to tear me down at every chance she got. It was heartbreaking to see the person I once shared everything with become my biggest tormentor. Another heartbreaking drama happened between us when her longtime crush confessed to me, choosing me over her. She went mad. She was furious towards me that I couldn't even recognize her as my sister. Her jealousy and anger were palpable, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. "Why does he like you, Hannah? I can't stand it." "I don't know, Jannah. It's not like I asked him to like me." She grabbed me by the arm and pushed me against the wall. "You always get everything you want. It's not fair. You're a thief." "Jannah, it's not a competition. You're an amazing person, and I'm sure someone else will come along who likes you." I tried my best to be reasonable, but my attempts at consoling her only seemed to fuel her anger further. The truth was, I never saw the attention of the boy she had a crush on. It just happened, and I couldn't control his feelings. "You must have done something to make him like you. You always manipulate people." "That's not true, Jannah. I never wanted to hurt you." Jannah's unfounded accusation stung deeply. It was painful to see her so consumed by jealousy and hatred, and it felt like she was blaming me for her insecurities. As time went on, Jannah's anger only intensified, and she seemed determined to make my life miserable. She would spread rumors about me, talk behind my back, and try to turn our friends against me. It was clear that her jealousy was poisoning our relationship. "Why are you doing this, Jannah? Can't we just support each other and be happy for each other's success?" "I'll never be happy for you, Hannah. You don't deserve anything good in your life." Despite her hurtful words, I refused to retaliate with anger. I believed that if I showed her kindness and understanding, maybe she would eventually let go of her resentment. But it seemed like an impossible task to mend our fractured bond. As we navigated the complexities of teenage life, our sisterly connection had become a battleground of emotions, leaving scars that would take years to heal. Little did I know that Jannah's bitterness and envy would lead her down a dark path, leading to actions that would shatter our lives even further. Then we embarked on our college journey. We took different programs, so we weren't able to see each other frequently on campus, and that lessens the fight and unnecessary arguments. My college life was perfect. To me, it was the most liberating phase of my life because I get to study my dream program. I met amazing people, and I met the love of my life, Cole. We both took health sciences, and we dated since our junior year of college. As soon as we graduated, we entered the same company and worked there. Our bond grew deeper as we navigate life with our love anchoring us. After 4 years of dating, Cole proposed to me. It was a beautiful starlit evening by a serene lake where me and Cole were sitting on a blanket enjoying each other's company.
"Hannah, there's something I want to say."
"What is it, Cole?"
"Ever since we met, my life has changed in ways that I could never have imagined. You bring so much joy and love into my life, and I can't imagine my days without you by my side."
"Cole, you know I feel the same way about you. You mean the world to me."
"That's what I wanted to hear. You see, Hannah, you have shown me what true love is, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you."
"Are you saying what I think you're saying?" Then he took out a small box and knelt before me. He opened it and revealed a sparkling diamond seated on top of the ring hoop.
"Hannah, will you do me the incredible honor of being my wife? Will you marry me?"
I got teary-eyed and overwhelmed with emotions. "Oh, Cole, yes. 1,000 times, yes."
"Really? You're not just saying that?"
"I'm saying it from the bottom of my heart. I love you, Cole, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you." Cole slips the ring onto my finger where a birthmark was hidden in between the spaces of the finger. He stood up and leaned in to kiss me. We both embraced, holding each other tightly under the twinkling stars. At that moment, everything feels right. and our love shines brightly, like the moon reflecting on the still waters of the lake. After that, I told my parents and family about the engagement and we arranged a gathering. I know that my relatives will love him because he was charming, kind, and had a smile that could light up the room. I thought that maybe he would be the one thing that could bring us back together, but fate had other plans. It was also the first time that Jannah would be seeing and meeting him, and in an inevitable event, Jannah fell head over heels for Cole, and in her twisted mind, she saw him as yet another possession to take away from me. Throughout the gathering, she became fixated on him. She was flirting with him, but good thing Cole knows how to draw a line and put up boundaries between them. But as we were preparing for the wedding, I was so suspicious because Jannah had been tagging along with us and insisting she be Cole's friend, and it didn't take long for her to manipulate him into falling for her false charms, pretending to be me and winning him over. I was devastated when I discovered their deceitful affair, and what broke me is that 2 days before our wedding, Cole and Jannah disappeared. My twin sister had not only betrayed me, but had stolen the love of my life right from under my nose. It was a pain that I couldn't put into words, and it left a scar on my heart that would take years to heal. I was so devastated I went straight to depression and grief. My parents couldn't even help to watch me suffer. My life was already perfect, but my twin sister ruined it. She will never be happy for me. She's so selfish. For a decade, I lived in agony, believing my husband had abandoned me for my sister. Question flung into my head, does he like her more? Is she more beautiful than me? I am so confused. But as the years went by, I heard from spectators that during their escape on that day, Jannah was dressed exactly like my style and talked the way I do. They also said that both of them boarded a plane to a certain country in Asia. And the truth was that he was deceived by my flesh and blood. The pain of being betrayed by both my husband and my sister was almost too much to bear. But I stood up for myself, and instead of swimming into depression, I did my best to better myself, to improve and grow on my own. Until one day, I received a mysterious text from an unknown contact. It says, "We are coming home." I traced the number and it was from my sister. My heart pounded like crazy. Are they coming back home? The anger in my heart was slowly building up. Now is the time to take action. When the day finally came, when Jannah and Cole returned home, I had spent years plotting my revenge. I couldn't let her get away with the pain she had caused me, the years of humiliation and heartbreak she had inflicted. It was time to show her that I was not weak, that her hatred and malice had only made me stronger. And so, at that moment, as she stood there, exposed for her lies, I felt a mix of emotions. My heart ached for the sister I once knew, but the need for justice and closure overwhelmed any lingering sympathy. It was time for her to face the consequences of her actions, and I knew that my revenge would be the ultimate humiliation she deserved. As my husband Cole sat there in the wheelchair, confusion and uncertainty etched across his face, he was so shocked to see me.
Jannah, you're alive?
I was dumbfounded when he called me Jannah. I'm not Jannah. It's me, Hannah. His eyes widened and looked at Jannah and then back to me. But this is Hannah, my wife. Wait a minute. You're Hannah? Jannah panicked and held Cole's hand.
My love, that is Jannah, my evil twin sister. She's dead, right? I didn't know she was still alive.
I grabbed Jannah's arms and slapped her in the face. What nonsense are you talking about? Her lips trembled as she saw me angry.
Please, I love him. I want him. Don't take him away. Let me be you, please, Hannah. I'm begging.
I shook my head as I stared at her with complete confusion. She is sick in the head. All this time, you pretended to be me in front of Cole, and you even told him that Jannah, which is me, is already dead? You're crazy. I knew it was time to unveil the truth. My heart pounded as I gathered the strength to approach Cole once again and expose Jannah's cruel deception. Cole? I said, my voice trembling with emotion. I know you have been living a lie, but I'm your real wife, Hannah. I heard Jannah scoff, trying to maintain her facade, but her eyes betrayed her fear. She panicked again.
You can't trust her. She's lying, my love. Look, I have a birthmark, see?
She pointed to the birthmark on the top right shoulder, shaped like a diamond, just like mine, and by the look of it, I knew it was a tattoo. Without hesitation, I rolled up my sleeve to reveal my birthmark, the real one, which was slightly larger and had a distinctive irregularity. This is my birthmark, I declared, my voice steady now, and I can prove it's me by showing you something only you and I know. I held out my hand and showed him my ring finger, pointing to a tiny mole between the spaces. Cole's eyes widened in surprise, and his gaze shifted between Jannah and me. He had never noticed the mole on Jannah's finger because it wasn't there. As the realization dawned on him, Jannah's charade crumbled. Her eyes filled with anger, and she tried to come up with another lie, but it was futile. Cole had seen the truth, and he was now faced with the consequences of his actions, not just Jannah's deceit.
You did this?
Jannah kept her silence and panicked even more. Cole fixed his gaze on Jannah, his anger palpable.
How could you do this to me, to us?
He asked her with intensity, his voice trembling with disappointment and rage. But Jannah, true to her manipulative nature, tried to shift the blame onto me.
I did it because I loved you more than she ever could. She never appreciated you, and I thought I could give you the love you deserved.
I couldn't believe the audacity of her words.
You don't get to play the victim,
I said, my voice firm.
You have caused us both immense pain with your lies and deceit, but now it's time to face the consequences of your actions.
In the days that followed, Jannah was brought to face the consequences of her actions. The truth of her identity theft was exposed, and the evidence was undeniable. It was clear to everyone that she had been living a lie for years, deceitfully masquerading as me to steal my husband and tarnish my reputation. As the legal proceedings unfolded, Jannah's true colors were laid bare for everyone to see. Her hatred for me had driven her to commit such a heinous act, and it was evident that her actions were not born out of love, but out of malice and envy. The court's verdict was swift and severe. Jannah was found guilty of identity theft and fraud, and she was sentenced to face the full extent of the law. It was a bitter pill for her to swallow, knowing that her actions had finally caught up with her. Throughout the ordeal, I remained steadfast in my determination to seek justice, but I couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions. The pain of losing my husband and the betrayal of my twin sister had left deep scars on my heart. However, I had also grown stronger and more resilient, knowing that I had the support of those who truly cared about me. With the truth revealed and justice served, I could finally start to heal and rebuild my life. Cole, realizing the gravity of his mistakes, expressed sincere remorse for his actions. He sought counseling and therapy to understand the underlying issues that led him to be deceived by Jannah's false charms. Despite the immense pain he caused, I found it in my heart to forgive him, and we began the slow and arduous process of rebuilding our relationship. As for Jannah, her life had taken a turn she never could have anticipated. The consequences of her actions left her isolated and abandoned by the very people she sought to control. It was a harsh lesson, and I couldn't help but feel a sense of sadness for the person she once was before envy consumed her heart. In the end, I learned that revenge was not about causing harm to others, but about finding closure and allowing justice to take its course. My journey had been painful, but it also revealed the strength and resilience that resided within me. Through forgiveness and understanding, I chose to break free from the cycle of hatred and negativity that had consumed both Jannah and me. Life went on, and I focused on rebuilding my relationships and finding happiness once again. The scars from the past remained, but they served as a reminder of the challenges I had overcome and the person I had become, a person who had triumphed over hatred and emerged stronger on the other side.